today at Denise Antonacci Salon down in South Park. I have these three lovely ladies who I've been referring to as my glam squad, here to answer some questions that you sent in, so we're going to get right into it. So I am here today with Denise, who's the owner of the salon, Laurie, who's amazing at extensions, she did mine, and then we have Julie, who did my color, and then they also do some other services. So Denise, what are the services you offer?
I offer haircuts, all types of color, highlighting. I do great lengths only, but haircuts, color, and great lengths.
Yes.
Hi, Laurie Lane. I specialize in extensions and color. I don't offer any styling services, so I defer to these two, as well as my other teammates in the salon.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Julie, a color specialist and stylist, but I don't cut. So when she refers to me, I only style, I do not cut. We will send the cuts to Denise.
It's a perfect storm.
It's a dream team, if you will. So.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. Like, I've only gone to salons in the past where like everyone does everything, and I think that it's smart that you guys are able to say like, okay, I'm really good at color, like I'm just gonna bust out colors all day because I know I'm really good at it. You know, like that's really cool. I feel like not a lot of salons that I've been to at least have done that. So we're first gonna talk about extensions because I have been feeling like Beyonce since I got my extensions in, and I can't thank these ladies enough for doing this because honestly, it's such a game changer. I've never had extensions, and if you're thinking about them, just do it. So we have some extension questions, and we're going to give these to Laurie since she is the one who did my extensions, the extension queen over here. So how do people know like if they're even right for extensions?
I actually think the better question would be who's not right.
Okay.
You know, there are so many different methods. There are so many different lifestyles, and we have a method basically that would fit into each of them. Whether you are someone that wants to keep your hair over time and have maintenance visits, if you are someone that wants to be a Great Lengths client like you are, you put it in and you just go live your life.
Yeah.
You have no maintenance visits, that type of thing. There's just so many varieties, their shapes, their sizes, you customize them. The person who would not be an extension client in the current moment would be perhaps somebody who had some medical treatments, is on medications, just had a baby, that type of thing. Those can affect maybe having a pause before you pursue extensions. They're never out of the question, but we'll always be honest and let you know if it's the right time or not.
Right. So what are the different types of extensions, and how do you, as a stylist, kind of decide which one someone should go with? Besides, obviously, kind of what you just touched on.
Right. So the three to four options that we practice in the salon are, number one, fusion. That's what you have in your hair. Great Lengths is the premier extension company.
Love it.
Those we're able to customize the size of each bond to fit the density of your hair. You put them in, they stay in for 3 to 4 months, go live your life.
Yes.
The other option would be what's called an I-tip option. There's a hair strand and a bead. Those stay, the hair stays in your life a bit longer because you have maintenance visits. You come in every 4 to 6 weeks, you have them moved up, and then again, go back out and live your life. Then we also do a tape option and also a sew-in option. Both of those are very popular just because of the fact that the pieces are larger. So you kind of can cover a larger area of the head with less pieces. Again, it's really up to you in the consultation about what's going to fit into your life.
Yeah, and I did love during the consultation, there were so many questions you asked that I was like, wow, I wouldn't even think about that. But it really did lead us to finding like the extensions that were perfect for me. I love that they're so low maintenance, and like I honestly don't even feel them. Like I feel like this is just my normal hair. So after having all those questions, I'm glad we ended up with those ones, because if you didn't ask them, we could have ended up with something I would have hated.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that would have sucked.
Absolutely, and that's why the consultation is always key.
Definitely. So I had a lot of people asking kind of cost range of extensions. I know obviously they all have different costs, but kind of break it down in you know, like what's the most expensive, least expensive, and then maybe a price range?
Well, the pricing depends on, there's a few factors. One is the density of your hair. What are we starting with?
Right.
Someone may have a shorter length hair, but it's very, very thick. If you want long hair, I have to put a lot of hair in there to match that density. So that is definitely something that's going to affect pricing. Also, the method. Is it something where it's a more tedious method, we're cutting pieces into thirds, or is it something that you have a party, we're going to put a few tapes in, and you're going to go out and be fabulous? All of those affect price. To give a range, you could go anywhere from a few $100s to a few $1,000s.
Yeah.
And again, there's always something for your budget and your lifestyle. I will say to my lovely Pinterest fans that come in and want mermaid hair, there is a price tag that comes with that.
Oh yeah.
So it is. It's a lot of hair. It's a lot of wow factor. It's a lot of time. So
that makes sense.
those just being realistic.
Yeah. So with any type of extension, what can you kind of expect for maintenance?
Well, again, I'll go back to yours.
Yeah.
With the Great Lengths Fusion, there is no maintenance.
Literally none.
You put them in, you live your life. You shampoo as normal, you style as normal. There are really no restrictions. The two things you cannot forget are brush your hair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and don't leave them in too long.
Yeah.
If we tell you there's a 3 to 4 month lifespan, listen to us, because more often than not, people that have had an adverse experience with extensions, it's because you're not getting the whole story. And a lot of times, the brushing has fallen to the wayside, or you tell them 3 months and they come back in 6 months. Those are things we have no control over. The type that I told you about, the eye-tip, the tape, the wefts, those all have every 4 to 6 week maintenance. As your hair grows, you come in for your maintenance visit, we open up the attachment, slide it up, or re-tape it, and then make it close to the scalp again.
Okay.
So with those, the longevity of the hair itself is more, but we will also see you in the salon more.
Right. So you kind of have to balance it out and just
Correct.
figure out, again, what's the best for your lifestyle, for your budget.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. So a lot of people are also asking me if they're uncomfortable. So I know the ones that I have, the Great Lengths extensions, are not uncomfortable at all. Like I said, I don't even notice that they're there most of the time, besides how they look. So with the other types of extensions, are they uncomfortable? Like, is there any kind of weirdness there?
I would say if you're going to experience anything that would even be remotely uncomfortable, it might be those first 24 hours when you're getting used to having that new tension. I always compare it to if you've left a ponytail in too long and how you experience that, oh my gosh, that little bit of tenderness, just because your hair isn't used to having it. Exactly. Beyond that, I would say no. I mean, obviously everybody's individual. There's going to always be that person that says, oh, this or that, but I will say the end result is something that is so well worth any sort of temporary discomfort.
Right. I think everyone who has extensions can probably agree. Like, just you'll be fine.
Oh yeah. And once you're in the club, you're never going back.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel now. I'm like, damn, what did I do? I'm
You
just like,
want that hair more than the discomfort.
yeah, exactly. Beauty is pain. That's what they say, right? No, it's really not that. I know the first day that I got them, I was like, whoa, this is kind of just weird. Like, I just had to, like, kind of touch them a little bit more and, like, understand how they felt. But honestly, after, like, 1 or 2 days, I was just like, wow, okay, do I even have anything in my hair? Like, you honestly cannot tell that they're there. It's crazy. I am in the club now, and I'm never going to. So, Denise, with styling extensions, is there anything that, like, is restricted or anything with any of the types of extensions in terms of styling?
No, I would say it's really not too restricted at all. If you approach your hair with a brush and a blow dryer and you are doing that normal styling you're doing, you have to be, of course, mindful that there are some bonds closer to the scalp. So, of course, combing your hair from root to end is not going to happen, but understanding how to brush your hair, how to section it out. Once you understand that, going ahead and blow drying your hair, curling iron, it's all really very normal.
Right.
You do need to have a really great haircut when you have the extensions because it's really great hair that's going in your hair. And so from there, you need to texturize and make it really match with what styling you're looking for,
Right.
which ultimately, when it comes to you styling it, it's just that much easier.
Definitely. Yeah, and I have to say, I feel like I've always had issues with haircuts, like, because as someone who's not a stylist, sometimes I just don't know how to explain what I want, so I'm just like, here's a picture, you know? But even just from kind of looking at a picture, I feel like my haircut was, like, I couldn't have asked for a better haircut. I loved it so much, and with the extensions, like, it was perfect. Like, so happy with how my haircut came out, too. So that was
They
very
have to kind of
good.
meld together.
Yeah, definitely. So, talking a little bit more about hair problems, kind of moving away from extensions, I wanted to have you send in your hair problem questions because I feel like a lot of times maybe you're nervous to ask your hairstylist or you've asked your hairstylist and the answer just kind of didn't really get you anywhere. So, we have the Glam Squad here again today to tell us a little bit more about the answers to your hair problem questions. So, first question that came in is, what can you do for thinning hair in your 20s and 30s? Julie, let's have you take it.
So if your hair is actually thinning, I think one of the things you want to look at is your environmental issues, or if anything's changed in your life. Stress. I just had a baby, so I have all of this new hair coming up in front of my face, so that's very new for me. There's a lot of factors. Are you coloring your hair too much? Are you putting too much heat to your hair? There actually are hormonal issues. You can get that checked out with a doctor. Those are things, thyroid issues have a lot to do with how your hair is, and that changes a lot in your 20s and you're into your 30s, especially if you have kids and things like that. So that's one of the things you do. You lose 100 hairs a day on average, right?
What?
So
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I don't know. So if you're
Sounds
washing
a
your
lot.
hair every third day, that's 300 hairs that haven't come out. So if you're combing your hair and you're like, oh, it's a lot more hair, think about when was the last time you washed your hair?
Okay.
Things like that. If you're seeing big clumps come out, if you're seeing bald spots, it's a big difference than losing, in the shower when you put your hair in the water, like, that's a little more hair than I thought. That's something to think about. If you are actually really concerned with hair loss, then I would say go to a doctor.
Yeah.
For us, we can help you with hair health. That's with the lightening of the hair, if you're doing a lot of highlights. If your colorist or stylist isn't taking great care of your hair, which sometimes it's a thing, we can teach you how to do that with products and how to use heat tools and how to style your hair better.
And taking care of your scalp. I mean, it starts from the scalp, so a lot of times it could be as simple as a scalp massage, the right product, helping the scalp. Of course, it's internal, then it's scalp, and then it's...
Right. Yeah, I feel like most people probably don't think about the scalp because they're like, yeah, just my hair, but you don't realize it really does from your scalp, so you should probably take care of that part too.
Just like we take care of our face skin, that's...
Exactly. Hey, it makes sense. So the next question we have for Julie, is there any way I can prepare my hair for lightening?
To prepare your hair for lightening, I just say do the least with chemicals, at home. If you were to say, I've been coloring my hair at home for 5 years, understand that makes the process that much harder. The experimental things at home, the things you've seen on YouTube, leave them on YouTube. Let those people do it, because when you come in here, it makes it way more expensive for you because it's going to take extra long and it's a longer process. We don't want to go in and just throw lightener on your hair and be like, let's make it as light as we can today, and your hair falls out. That's our fault again. Going back to the hair thinning and all of that. So what I say is do the least you can chemically at home, but what you can do is condition. Keep your hair conditioned. Use hair masks, use serums, use treatments at home. Things that you get at a salon, things that you can get professionally. That's what you want. That's what you want to use. But that's the way you can prepare your hair for bleach. Really, other than that, or lightener. Really, other than that, there's not much else we ask you to do.
Right, and I think it also, with lightening, like I know personally, I'm not a hairstylist, I would never do it at home, but I'm sure the way people do it at home is probably not the right way. So, actually coming to a salon might be the best way to just make sure that's getting done right.
TikTok has ruined at-home hair color.
Between TikTok and Pinterest,
It's gotta stop. Just come to us.
You guys must be like getting so many pictures and stuff, and you're just like, oh goodness. So is there any way that I can make my hair thicker?
Oh, hello.
Oh, the extension queens are here.
I mean, I don't know, maybe
I mean, you're born with your hair, right? There are vitamins you can take that help it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a miracle.
There's
thing,
no miracle cure. There isn't, unless you get extensions.
I mean, even getting a good haircut and understanding texturizing products, things that can visually make it look thicker
Yeah.
and and feel thicker as well. I mean, of course it's extensions, but then if that's off the table, then I would have to say go a good haircut and learning styling techniques
Yep.
that really. I mean, I have the thinnest hair. Laurie, help me out. I have really thin hair. I know exactly how to play that game a little bit with just some tricks. And it really can, a lot of it in the styling process, help that.
Definitely. Yeah, I know for me, like, I never ever used a hairdryer, which I don't know why. Like, I always would let my hair air dry, and I always would be just, like, super, super flat. And I'd always be like, why is my hair so flat? Like, but I realized, like, maybe I should blow dry. And so since I've gotten the extensions, I've started to blow dry, and I kind of do it, like, upwards, so I can get that nice volume when it falls down. So I definitely...
Which is the top of your head and your scalp.
Exactly.
Like, all the pictures we see, magazines,
Yeah.
a lot of it is styling, and those are the things that I think clients really want to learn.
Definitely, yeah. And there are some easy ways to do it. I feel like sometimes I watch my hairstylist, when you guys are blowing out my hair, I'm like, I can't do that, but after like playing around with it, I think it's a lot of just trial and error and practicing, seeing how it goes. You actually reminded me of another question. How often should people get haircuts?
I'd say in a perfect world, 5 or 6 weeks feels great. Those ends, they really want to be polished up. Even it doesn't matter how much you take off, even if it's the smallest amount, those ends want to be polished up, and it does make a difference. So, 5 weeks is great, 8 is okay too, just making sure that it happens.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, then you need a bigger haircut, and then you're reintroducing the style again. If you like the style you have to maintain that. And when you go too long, that stylist has to reintroduce the shape back into your hair.
Yeah.
So don't discredit getting a little haircut. It's not how much you take off, it's the fact that you've got a haircut.
Right. You're trimming it
I
up.
think we experience it a lot with our color clients as well, just to piggyback on what Denise says. They come in and they say, I have roots, but my hair isn't growing. And that's because it's splitting up. So if they had regular dusting and all of that, because of course when you come in for your color, you see that your hair has grown.
Right.
But if it was an inch of growth on the top, why isn't it an inch of growth on the bottom? The chances are...
Which is super important with what she's saying too, is because, which leads me into how many people are styling their hair and really being so aggressive and not understanding if you're asking to be this level of blonde, this is the commitment you have to take for how you're executing your style at home. From your brushes to the heat protection. You can't get the colors, the blonde colors these clients want and think that you're just going to go home and use whatever you want.
And use your drugstore shampoo.
But just blow drying your hair really quickly, taking large sections, that lends itself to a lot of problems just in their styling routine at home. That's not going to be helpful.
Makes sense. So, Denise, how can I get rid of flyaways and breakage?
Well, I mean, we split the two. First, you want to find out the source of the breakage, right? And of course, your hairline is always going to be a little bit. It's finer hair. It's going to ask more of you and more of the stylist to be mindful that it's there, but you want to make sure that there's protection going on and finding out where the breakage source is happening. And once you can find that out and take a little control of it, and then as far as the styling process, it would be, products really do a great job in settling down the hair. Some pomades that really work, especially when you have extensions and you want to have your own hair meld into them, you have to learn how to make your flyaway hair, your flyaway okay hair into the amazing hair, right? So you really need to learn how to do those tricks, and whether it be pomade and kind of the curling iron and kind of the way you're applying it, you really can make flyaways go away. And we all have a certain amount of breakage. It's a harsh word, but sometimes there's a little bit in there that happens, and you just have to be mindful of that hair when you're styling at home. and be really careful how you blow drying it. Take it slow.
Right.
You can't blow out your hair so quickly and think you're going to be okay in that department. You have to take it easy and use some products that help
Right.
settle them down.
Yeah, I feel like in comparison to like say your skin, you know, everyone is so delicate applying their skincare, and I feel like people with hair are just alright, you know, going right into it. So, you know, I guess you really do have to think of it as, you know, it's an extension of your body. You still need to take care of it. You still need to be gentle with it.
Right.
Like, especially if you have extensions, like you just pay for that. You need to take care of that.
And people have big coarse hair.
Yeah.
They are used to being able to do what they want.
Right.
And then there comes that time where you can't just run through it like that. You
Right.
have to section it out, work on that piece by itself, next piece,
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that.
So this was a question I was happy came in because I personally have the same question. I feel like I've done everything and can't find out the answer. Why is my hair so oily? Is there anything I can do to stop it? Tell me everything.
Again, I find when I talk to clients and go through the process on how they wash their hair, what they're using to wash their hair, a lot of people just, if they go 3 days without washing their hair and they're doing one lather, the hair wants 2 lathers. You know, again, it's about the scalp. You have to address your scalp when you have this type of situation. So before I even go into what product to use, how are you washing your hair? How many lathers do you do? Then we can go into what type of product should you be using. And also brushing your hair. People don't realize how important it is to brush your hair from scalp to end. Taking those oils that are living up there, bringing it back down to the bottom. So it's the, you know, the way you're shampooing your hair and brushing your hair.
Okay.
You correct those two, and I would bet that you would have a lot less of that situation. And then of course you do have people who produce just more oil glands.
Yeah,
And that's actually a great thing, because that's youthful.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I always say.
Yeah, that's great. And then you can get more aggressive on shampoos that are oil absorbing, but just the way you wash your hair, what you're using, and brushing your hair can
Okay.
take away a lot of those problems.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Can I jump in on that quick? When we took a I'm 29 years old, been doing hair for 11 years. We took a Kerastase class here to learn about the products a little more, and we were, he explained that Kerastase was created to shampoo twice. I've been shampooing my hair once for the past, I don't even know how long.
Right.
I had no idea you needed 2 shampoos.
Oh,
so that's a hair colorist.
So, because you have great hair and you're able to get by with it. But
I didn't need more, and as my hormones have changed, now all of a sudden I'm like, okay, my hair's not clean. And now I've been shampooing twice with my Kerastase, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
It's
My
that
hair's
second
still wrong.
shampoo that
Okay.
stands out.
It's wild.
Alright, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Honestly, see, I get nervous about that because of the color in my hair. I feel like I get nervous to even shampoo it once because I'm like, no, it's gonna all go away. But I think that is a really good thing to try out. I will try it out.
And I think too, conditioner, I am constantly amazed at when I'm explaining take-home products and I tell people little bit of conditioner, mid-lengths to the ends, and they look at me like, what? Because the routine is I go here and then go down, and you know, they could be 20, 30, 40, 50 years old and go, I've been washing my hair the wrong way all this time. So things like that.
Application is everything.
Yeah. I remember you saying to me, like, if you put it in a ponytail, whatever would be kind of left out of the ponytail. And I feel like I've been following that. It's been good. So I also wanted to kind of jump into some recommendations because a lot of questions were like, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite this? So we're just going to go through it. I'd love to hear anyone who wants to chime in. So, favorite curling iron, like to actually style your hair?
For me, I think Hot Tools is a great curling iron. Price point is great.
Yeah.
It's always delivered for me. Of course, there's better out there, maybe more pricey, and but just it umbrellas many people, and I think Hot Tools is a great.
I think they're like the OG, like classic curling iron. A lot of hairstylists, I feel like that I've seen have had them, and it always surprises me because like you expect your hairstylist to use like the fanciest thing, but like it's cool to know that something that you know anyone can pretty much purchase.
We have some fancy, but it's the curling iron.
Hey, you know, like if it does the trick, I don't care what you use, just as long as my hair looks the way it does when I leave here, like it doesn't matter to me. So how about straightening irons? Hot Tools as well?
I like GHD. There are a few good ones out there, flat iron, but I think GHD has delivered a great flat iron. So I've been using that for years. Solanos and professional blow dryers for many years, and they're great, and they've always been great. And so when Dyson came out, I really didn't want to change.
Yeah.
But Dyson could be a big game changer just on the weight alone.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing it all day.
Right.
So Dyson has great air direction and it's lightweight.
Definitely.
The Solanos and all the other professional blow dryers, they are still great as well, but they're heavier
Yeah.
and they're a little louder.
Right.
So Dyson could deliver on things that are important to us here
Right.
on an hourly basis that we're doing that.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was telling Julie that I've had a Dyson for years now, and I never touch it because I never used to blow dry my hair, but now I've been using it, and I'm like, this thing is awesome. Like, I like that you can turn down the, you know, like, there's so much customization.
That's very important what you're saying. You could get the strength, bring down the heat,
Yes.
or bring up the heat, lower the strength.
Right.
You know, people, again, when we're talking about the hair and breakage, you have to maybe bring down the strength, bring down the heat until you get the swing of things.
Yeah.
You need a blow dryer to help you work with that. You can't just have strong airflow that's hot and
Right.
you're not sure what you're doing because your hair is, you're doing damage as you figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think
agree
probably
with
a good rule of thumb is not to buy any hot tool dryer that doesn't have a temperature control. That regardless of what it is, flat iron, curling iron,
Yeah.
blow dryer, etc., has to have a temperature control.
That
It
makes
cannot be a one size fits all. It goes to 500 degrees and that's your.
Right.
You know.
That's
And again, we're all so busy and rushed.
right.
Everything's on high.
Oh,
Everything's
yeah.
the hottest.
Yeah.
Everything, and that goes back to the original questions you were asking about damage and this
Right.
kind of thing. A lot of times, just because of life,
Yeah.
you know, we're abusing our hair and
Right.
kind of need to pump the brakes a little bit.
I mean, that's actually a good question. So I know the curling iron that I use, it goes up to like 400, I think. So how do I know what to choose? I usually put it at like 380 because I'm just like, I don't know, it's kind of middle of the road, but how do you even know?
Until you get the swing of things and you know
Okay.
that you're working with it well. You know, you got the right way that you're doing it, and so you don't want to put it on high and be figuring it out.
Right.
Once you have that figured out, you probably can go a little higher with the temperature, just because it'll deliver and your technique is better.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. And then a lot of people ask this question, what is everyone's recommendation for dry shampoo? Because I think at this point everyone is so reliant on dry shampoo. I feel like I go through a can of dry shampoo every week, it's terrible.
Dry shampoo is great, but you still have to learn how to brush your hair.
Yeah.
Once you brush your hair really well,
Yeah.
then you're ready for the dry shampoo.
Yes.
So, all right, you want to say?
Can I grab this?
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to grab the one.
Julie's like, hold please.
This is literally the best dry shampoo I've ever had. It's number one, they made it for millennials. So if you look at the packaging,
Oh yeah, it's.
I mean, put this on your vanity.
Yeah, it's
and
cute. Take
It's
a
like
picture.
I just feel really cute with it. You
You
know,
know it's millennial pink.
it's
Yeah,
That's
millennial.
literally the name of the color.
Yeah,
Yes.
they made it to market towards me. So that's why. I mean, the packaging alone, I love.
They sold you. They
It
were-
also smells insane.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't washed your hair in a couple days, which I'm not judging because I don't either, it does give you that like freshness that you're like, oh, okay, it
Exactly.
doesn't smell bad. And it's one of the things about dry shampoo is people are like, oh, it gives that white residue. Now there's tricks to doing that. You spray it in. You can go heavy with this too. That's the best part. But take a blow dryer, just blow it out, and that whiteness goes away.
Yeah.
And then all you're left with is clean looking hair. That
And
smells great.
smelling. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is one of the higher end ones, and you
Okay.
can only get this in a salon, which is they're always gonna work a little better. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
you pay for what you get, which is a true thing in all the products that you're ever gonna get at a
Right.
salon. They do the job that you pay for.
Yeah.
So it is one of the higher end ones. So, but it works the way it should. So
Right.
that's why. But this is just my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm a big dry shampoo person. Julie did already rave to me about this product quite a few times. I believe her now. So thank you to everyone who sent in questions. I hope that all of them were answered. I'm sure they were. These ladies are amazing. I could not recommend coming down to the salon enough. Honestly, you guys totally changed the game for me. Like I said, I feel like Beyonce, and I'm never gonna not feel like this because I will make sure that I always have extensions, great color, and a great cut from the salon. So, where can we find you if we want to follow you online?
Follow us on Denise Antonacci Salon.
Perfect. Laurie?
Laurie Lane Hair.
And Julie Yamada Beauty.
Perfect. I put their handle handles here for you guys as well if you want to go follow them. And I hope that you come into the salon soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.